Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great day. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm doing a Queen & Co project using a fruit basket kit. This has been in the Queen & Co shop for a while, but I haven't played with it yet, so we're going to take a look at what's inside and we're going to create 3 cards with it. Nice thing about this kit, it does come with a plastic pouch that's perfect for the NV binders. If you've seen my previous videos, you've seen the binders, and these pouches fit perfectly in there for storage. Okay, first we're going to take a look at the dies. You get 9 dies in total, 5 fruits. The strawberry can be flipped around to create a pear. You get the strawberry topper, you get the stem and a leaf. The watermelon is actually 2 separate parts, so you can make 2 separate shakers with that, and I thought that was neat. Now, along with the dies, there's 9 in total, but you get 15 coordinating foam shapes that create your shakers so easy peasy. All you do is punch out the centerpiece and makes it just super duper easy. So you get 15 in total, 3 of each shape. Like I said, you just punch out the negative piece and you have an instant shaker. There's adhesive backing on the front and the back. You just remove that, stick it to your project, add your favorite toppings, and then add your acetate cover, and voila! Okay, you also get, of course, the acetate covers for each of these shapes. You get 3 of those for each one as well. And then you also get 3 for the watermelon too, which is nice. Okay, in this kit you get a 4x6 stamp set with a lot of fruity fun sentiments here. Thanks a melon. You have wishing you a slice of happiness. Thank you very much. It's just a cute little stamp set. This kit does come with a 6x6 paper pad. This is the fruit basket matte stack, and you get 24 papers in here, 4 sheets of each, and they're all double-sided. I like the multiple colored patterns, and then you also get 2-tone patterns, which is really nice. We'll be using this one today. Then you also get some baker's twine. You get red, green, and yellow. And then you get some epoxy dots, and then you also get some teardrop gems. Those make perfect seeds for your fruit, which is lovely. Now you get some toppings. These are seed beads that go perfect for your watermelon rind there. They fit perfectly in there. You get some grapefruit toppings, and you get some little pears. They're so sweet. You get apples. They're my favorite. You get 2 lemons in 2 different shades. You get a bold yellow, and then you get a darker yellow. You get some watermelons, which I didn't think you can make watermelons that small. You get strawberries, and then you get some oranges. So those are all your toppings. So lots packed in that little kit. So let's jump in with our first card. We're going to make an apple card. So I'm taking the apple pattern paper and also some red stripe pattern paper. I'm going to take the apple die, and I'm going to cut out 2 apples with the red pattern paper. And then I'm going to grab a piece of white cardstock here. We're going to die cut out 2 leaves and then also the stem. I'm also going to die cut out 1 of the apples with the white. Now I cut out a panel too using one of my stitched rectangle dies. That panel is 3.5 inches by 4 3/4. Now we're going to work on this white apple here. I actually grabbed a circle die from my stash, and I'm going to actually cut out the right side of my apple. We're going to create an apple core, and so this is an easy way to do it. I'll take that same die and place it on the left side and just cut out that other side, and it makes 2 large leaves too, which is nice. So that's my little apple core. Now to give this a little bit of dimension, I'm going to go over the edges with some Distress Oxide ink. This is Vintage Photo. I think it adds a nice little depth to my apple core, and it's better than white for sure. Okay, so cute. Now I'm going to take this apple here. I'm going to use the negative piece of this apple that we die cut out. I'm going to tape it down to my apple core, and then just using my scissors, leaving a little bit of a border, I'm going to fussy cut out the sides here. I wanted this to have a little bit of color, so this was an easy way to do that. Okay, now I'm going to color in my leaves. I'm not going to use the large leaves, just the small ones. but I'm going to use my Copic markers. I'm going to use 3 shades of green. I'm going to start off with the lightest green, and then I'll go in with my medium tone green, just going around the right side of it, and then I'll finish it off with my darker green, just going around the edge there. I'm going to blend them all together, and it creates a real pretty leaf. I left the colors up there on the top for you. Now for my stem, we're going to use 2 shades of brown, starting off with the lightest, and then I'll go in with the darker shade, and then I'll blend it out back with the lightest again. So those are my little stems for my apples. I did color in the other 2 leaves. I didn't want to bore you with that. Okay, now I'm just using my glue, and we're going to attach 1 leaf to my apple core, and then I'll take the stem and attach that as well. Cute. Okay. Now we're going to work on our panel. I'm kind of going to arrange how I want my little scene to go. So I'm going to pop out the negative piece of my shaker shape, and then I'll add the red on the inside, and then I'll just take my apple core and kind of place it the way I want it to place. This way I know where to stamp my sentiment. My sentiment for this card, I chose "You are awesome" all the way to the core, and I thought that was so cute. And when I opened my stamp set, I realized these are not photopolymer stamps. They're rubber stamps. So I like to rub it with my hand really good, and then I'll ink it up with Versamark first, and then I'll use my ink for stamping my sentiment, which will be VersaFine Onyx Black ink. And it just stamps beautifully. Kind of got to season it first, because sometimes with the rubber stamps, the ink likes to bead up on it. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and build our scene. So I'm going to remove the release paper off of my foam. I'm going to place that on my panel, and then I'll use my tape runner, and we're going to adhere the center of our apple there. Next, for the toppings, I got to use those apples. They were just so cute. I love the shades of them. There were yellow, green, and reds in there with the little seeds. Just too cute. I'll remove the release paper off the top. I'll go ahead and add my acetate cover, and then I added glue around the border, so this way we could just place our frame right on top. Lovely. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and glue two of my leaves together. And those are going to go there, but we're going to pop them up. I decided to use the negative piece of my foam shape here, and I was kind of hesitant. I didn't want to cut it because sometimes I like to use the negative pieces to create my cards, but I decided to go ahead and do that. So I just chopped off a little piece and placed it behind my leaves. This way my shaker shape and my leaves are the same depth, just a little more even. I'm going to place that right on top of my apple there, and then I'll go ahead and glue down the stem. When you use glue, you get a little bit of wiggle room on positioning, so I just kind of scooted them out a little bit. Okay, I'm going to use some more of that foam, and I'm going to attach my apple core to my panel there, and then I thought it'd be fun to use the black teardrops for the seeds of my apple. I added 6 to the center of my shaker, and then I added 3 to my apple core, and I think that looks real fun. Next, we're going to grab the epoxy dots here, and I'm just going to use the red and the green. I'll add 2 to the top, and then 1 red one right below my sentiment. Lovely. I'm going to grab my card base. My card base today is a 4" by 5 1/4 top folding card base. I'm going to go ahead and add glue to my card base, and then I'll tape down, not glue, I added tape, but I'll tape down my pattern paper, and then I'll tape down the stripe paper right below it. I'll just trim off the excess. Add a little color down there on the bottom. I'm going to use my tape runner to adhere my panel in the center of my card base there. And that finishes off card number 1. So cute. Here's a close-up, guys. Okay, card number 2, I have everything all cut out. Now I'm going to go ahead and build my shakers for both of these. Using the pattern paper as a background, I just used that circle die that I used for my apple core to cut out a full circle and then a half circle. I'm adding my foam to them, and then we're going to go ahead and fill it up. For this card, we're going to make like a lemon card, so I'm going to use the darker lemons here, and I used the whole entire bag, just kind of evenly spreading in between the two. And then I'm going to remove the release paper off of my shaker. We'll go ahead and add the acetate, and then I'll go ahead and glue down my pattern paper on the very top that we die cut out with the citrus dye there. Okay, those are ready to go, and you can see I colored in 9 of the leaves, and then I cut out that long stem there was actually the negative piece of the very top portion of the watermelon. It creates a wonderful stem because the ends are wider than the middle. So I'm just kind of playing around with my placement, and I decided to take the die that I used to cut out the top of my shaker there, and I'm going to cut out a circle in that panel. That panel here is 4 inches by 5 1/4. This way my full-size lemon will fit right inside there. Now I popped this panel up with some foam tape, and I placed that on my A2 size card base, and you can see it fits in there. It just leaves a little bit of dimension coming out of that panel. I'm going to use my glue to attach my shaker inside that little circle, and then I'm going to glue down my stem here. I wanted to create like a greenery branch, and this stem worked perfect for that. So we'll start off on the very top. I'm going to add a leaf, just using my glue to secure them down. And then I'm going to go left to right, adding my leaves. And then my last one I'm actually going to glue down to the top of my shaker. I think that looks real neat. Now I'm going to add a piece of foam tape to the right side of my lemon slice here, and then I'm going to glue the rest down to the top of my shaker. That way everything's kind of balanced a little bit better. Now for my sentiment for this card, I chose "Loving you is easy peasy lemon squeezy." Love that. This is going to be a card for my main squeeze. I did the same thing I did with sentiment on the first card. I inked it up with my Versamark first, and then I'm going to stamp with my VersaFine ink. I should have did this before I added foam tape, but since I knew, I put quite a bit of foam tape behind that panel, so I knew it was going to stamp beautifully. Now for bells and whistles, I'm going to go in with some of the clear droplets here, adding them as if they're seeds to my citrus fruit. And then I'm going to fill in some open areas with some of the yellow epoxy dots. And that finishes off that card. So cute. Here's a close-up. Now for my final card today, I have everything cut out. My panel size is 3.5 inches by 4 3/4. I'm going to start off by stamping my sentiment. I already prepped it with my Versamark ink. For the sentiment, I chose "I couldn't have picked the sweeter friend," which is so cute. I just stamped it on the bottom of my panel here. Now next I'm going to take this pattern paper with the pears. I'm just going to tape it down to the right side of my panel. And then I took a strip of it's almost a teal pattern paper. I'm going to glue that to the right side of my pattern paper there. That teal color is the same color as the leaves in my pear pattern paper. I'm going to position it on my card base, and then I'll trim off the excess. Lovely. Okay, now we're going to build our little shaker. I cut out the yellow pattern paper for the inside, and then the green pattern paper for my pear frame. And I am flipping it around. I almost made it a strawberry. A yellow and green strawberry. That wouldn't have been good. But I removed the release paper. I'm going to add it to my panel. Then I'm going to tape down the center of my pear on the inside. I'm going to grab my pear toppings and fill that up. And then I'll go ahead and I'll add my acetate cover. And then I'll use my glue to glue down my frame. Now I'm just adding some of that negative extra foam there to the back of my leaves. And I did add my stem already. We're going to place that right on the very top of my little pear. Now I just thought it was missing something, but we're going to go ahead and pop this up with some foam tape. And then I'll place that on my panel. So I went into my stash and I found some, these are blue Lollies that match that teal paper perfect. So I'm going to add three in a row there. And I think that just balances everything out a little bit better. I love these little Lollies, they're so cute. I thought about adding, I only had one black seed yet left, so I just decided to leave it as it was. And that finishes off project number 3. Here's a close-up. Okay, here's a look at the 3 projects that I made today using the Queen & Co. Fruit Basket Kit. I'll leave links below in the description area in case you guys are interested. I just think this is an adorable kit. But thanks so much for joining me. I wish you a fantastic day, and we will see you again real soon, guys. Bye-bye.